You've taken a survey, right? An online poll, a feedback form. I mean, they're everywhere. But here's the thing. Most of them, they're probably getting it all wrong. Today, we're diving into survey studies, a tool that looks super simple on the outside, but is actually incredibly tough to get right. Let's find out why.
Right. The illusion of simplicity. And that's really the core of it. You see a quick poll on a news site or a "what kind of pizza are you" quiz. It feels so easy, doesn't it? Just click a few buttons and bam, you've got data. But as we're about to see, that simplicity, well, it's a trap.
This quote just nails it. Surveys feel easy until bias and weak questions distort everything. And that's the whole problem right there. See, if a survey isn't built on a really solid scientific foundation, the data you get back can be totally unreliable. It might look like you've got amazing insights, but what you really have is a distorted picture. And that leads to bad decisions and a whole lot of wasted time.
So how do the pros avoid this trap? Well, it all starts with treating a survey not as just some simple list of questions, but as the powerful scientific tool it's really meant to be.
Okay, so here's the official definition. It's a research approach that systematically collects data on a few factors from a large number of individuals. The keywords there are systematically and a few factors. This isn't just a random grab for data. Nope, it's a super focused, organized way to gather very specific info from a whole lot of people. It's really the perfect tool when you need to understand that big, broad landscape.
So, what are they actually for? Well, they do three really important things. First, they help us describe what's going on right now. It's like taking a detailed snapshot of a situation. Second, they let us compare that situation to what we already know, to established standards. And finally, using all that data, we can propose real ways to make things better. So it's this cycle you see: understand, evaluate, and then improve.
The methodological blueprint. All right, this brings us to the really critical part. This is the step-by-step guide, the blueprint, that researchers follow to make sure their surveys give you data you can actually, trust.
So the big question is, how do researchers dodge all those pitfalls and actually get it right? Well, they don't just wing it. They don't just write some questions and hope for the best. They follow a super clear step-by-step plan, that methodological blueprint we were just talking about. It's designed to keep things objective and accurate from the very beginning to the very end. Let's walk through it.
And here it is, the whole journey laid out. It all kicks off with a crystal clear problem. What are you actually trying to find out? Then you've got to select a sample that truly represents the group you're studying. After that, you build and test your tools, the questionnaire itself. Only then, once you've done all that prep work, do you go out and gather the data and start looking for patterns. The last step? Reporting what you found and suggesting what to look at next. You see how each step is like a safeguard? Each one builds on the last to make sure the final result is rock solid.
A principle for precision. Okay, now listen up. If you only take one single thing away from that entire blueprint, please let it be this next principle. It is, and I'm not exaggerating, probably the single most important factor that decides if your survey is going to be meaningful or just plain misleading.
And here it is. Your first defense against distorted results is rigorous, unbiased sampling. Think about that. It literally does not matter how brilliant your questions are if you are asking the wrong people. Getting your sampling right, choosing your participants in a scientific, unbiased way is your absolute #1 defense against getting garbage results. So remember, who you ask is every bit as important as what you ask.
On to case studies. All right, so we've seen how surveys give us that big picture, that wide-angle view of the world. But what happens when you need to zoom way in? When you need to understand one specific situation in incredible detail? Well, that brings us to a totally different, but just as powerful, research method. Next up, we're talking case studies. So in our next explainer, we're going to shift our focus. We're moving from the wide lens of surveys to the microscope of case studies. We'll dig into how researchers can go incredibly deep on a single thing, one person, one company, one event, and still maintain that scientific rigor you need to find some really powerful insights. I'll see you.